Today is the day. Going over to the Tropical Research Education Center because I have a bunch of different kinds of vanilla here. Got some homemade stuff. I've got all the stuff you can buy at the stores. And we are gonna go put it into a machine and see how much vanilla is actually in there. Let's get going. Okay, so we are meeting my friend Alan here. He is one of the leading experts on vanilla and all the mysteries that surround it. Let's give him a call, let him know we are here.
Hey, Greg.
Hey, I heard you have one of those fancy vanilla machines.
I do.
Okay, can I come check it out?
Of course. Are you out front?
I am.
I'll be out in just a second.
All right, see ya.
Yep, bye.
All right, he's coming. We're gonna go see what this is all about. Here we go. This is Alan. He is one of the experts I know on vanilla. He's gonna show us how all this vanilla stuff works and what's the big idea with vanilla. And these are my friends too.
Hi there.
Hi. So we are first gonna go check out where the vanilla is grown, or what do you call it?
So this is where we keep our diversity collection for the vanilla. So we've got over 30 species in here and almost 300 accessions. So vanilla from all over the world.
Wow. And you're gonna show us the best ones, right?
We'll show you some of the best. A lot of them are still unknowns. That's the purpose of the collection, is so that we can analyze all these different types and figure out what is the best.
All right, here we go.
And you can see this year's crop. So for example, this is vanilla pompona. It's not acceptable for food use in the US or the European Union, but people do consume this in Central and South America. I actually really like vanilla pompona extract. I think it's good. It produces big beans, so this is still actively growing. When they're done, they'll be much larger. And it's a much bigger bean than the commercial species. It's also disease resistant and it grows a lot faster. So this plant was made for Florida. So this is the commercial species. This is Vanilla planifolia. These flowers just opened this morning and they've already been pollinated. You can see the damage to them. And then those that were pollinated a week or so ago are starting to develop beans. And they'll eventually top out at maybe 15
and what
centimeters.
pollinates them?
Graduate students mostly.
Oh, okay.
These are all hand pollinated. Yeah, so we're working on natural pollinators, but we haven't identified them yet. So everything in here is done manually. This is one of our native species. So just a totally different looking bean. No idea if the bean has any real quality to it. But as you look out over the collection, you can see differences in everything from the color to the leaf size and shape, thickness of the stems. And this is the value of the genetics that we do, is looking for those traits that could make a better commercial vanilla. No real aroma to these ones either. But this one also, most vanilla plants will take 2, 3, sometimes 4 years to be large enough to flower and fruit. This one flowered the first year that we had it. So it flowers when it's much younger, much smaller. So again, we're thinking, well, if that's a trait, can you move that into the commercial type and have the good quality, and then something that might even be an annual vanilla plant? So this is a general molecular biology lab. It's a flexible lab space where we can do everything from DNA to RNA to proteins. We also do a lot of fruit quality analysis here, where we can take things like how sweet is the mango and put a number to that, as opposed to relying on people's sensory impression. And this is where we'll generate samples like how much vanillin is in a vanilla sample.
All right. Well, show us how it's done. I get a sciencey coat now too. Look at this. I feel scientific. So I have 9 different samples here of different kinds of vanilla. 2 homemade and 7 store-bought kinds. I'm sure if I went to more stores I could find more, but I think I've got a good sampling. So we're gonna start with one, which is a homemade one that I made. If you want to see how that's made, check out the link right up here somewhere. That has all the instructions of how to make homemade vanilla extract and where to get all the stuff. So just walk us through the process here.
Before we put a sample through the HPLC, it has to be filtered. Take out some of the chunks so we don't clog our machine. So I'm going to take up some of your extract and attach it to our filter, our HPLC vials. So this is what the machine actually uses to sample from. One little cap, and this sample is now ready to run. And we can go over and look at the machine and we can explain what it actually does.
All right, let's do it.
This is the actual HPLC itself. It uses 2 different solutions. It has a pump here that also gives us our pressure. And then it has a sampler here, which with some robotics, we'll see how well you can get your camera in there. We're going to put your sample right there. And then it goes through. So this is actually what does the separation here. So this is what they call a column, and it's going to separate the dozens or hundreds of compounds in that solution and separate them out so we can look at them one at a time.
So you were doing some pollinating this morning. We saw those flowers that you pollinated. Yes.
I ripped open.
Yes. You'd make a great bee someday.
Yeah. That's our job.
All right. Keep up the good work.
This is how we grow the next generation of vanilla plants. So for example, you have one parent that tastes really good and one parent that's more disease resistant. We want to combine those traits into one single plant.
McCormick Gourmet Organic Premium Pure Vanilla Extract.
That is a lot
That's
of
a
words.
lot of words.
I can tell why it's so expensive.
Yes.
So I'm going to have you do that one slightly different than I did your homemade one. We're going to have you pour the sample into the syringe after it's loaded with the filter. We're going to have to create a key. Show you the machine.
See, now she's over here doing this. It takes her about 5 seconds. It took me like 5 minutes to do one. But that's because she's a professional. The hardest part is getting the foil off.
It is.
Alright, well, thanks.
Absolutely. Alan, are you going to be back?
Hey, I'll be back. Okay. I'm the official carrier.
Your official vanilla
You're
carrier.
doing a bad job. All the bottles are tipping.
Alright, well that's it for today's video. We are going to probably have to do a part 2 of this and find out exactly how the samples did in the high performance, what was it?
HPLC.
The HPLC, high performance liquid chromatographer. So thanks for watching today, and we will be back with results shortly.